This is TJ Lawrence, your new home consultant, trusted advisor, and Army veteran. If you've been renting and wondering if buying is worth it, this one's for you. Today, I'll be breaking down the real numbers, the hidden pros and cons, and the one thing your landlord never wants you to think about. By the end, you'll be able to make your next move with confidence. So come join me.
All right, let's start with where most people are right now, renting. If you're paying $1,600 a month for the year, lease contracts usually about 12 months, you're basically paying about 19,200 in just 1 year. That's a brand new car, college tuition payment, or a healthy investment account gone. Now, let's think about if we're renting that same thing for 5 years. You've paid $96,000 in rent. That's almost six figures you've handed over. And at the end of it, you don't own anything. As a landlord, I am excited for you to do that. You've just paid me $96,000 to help me with my mortgage and my rent. Thank you so much for that. Renting gives you flexibility for sure, don't get me wrong, but your rent is paying your landlord's mortgage, their taxes, and their long term wealth, not yours. If you've ever done the math on how much rent you've paid over the years, drop that number in the comments. I bet it's eye opening. All right, on the flip side, here is the power of buying, specifically with what you can do right now at Lennar Mortgage. So right now at Lennar, I have the numbers so you can see this in real life action. We are buying down interest rate to 3.75%, 5-1 ARM. So 5 years, your mortgage rate is going to be for 3.75. And depending in the next 5 years, we don't know what the mortgage is, well, what the market or APR is going to say. But right now, we're projecting 5.4475. What I would like to do is I would like to give you the numbers in a 5-1 ARM and also a 30-year fix, which is 4.99%. APR is going to be 5.503%. And we're doing this on both zero down right now. So the 5-1 ARM, principal and interest is about $14.67. Hazard insurance is about $60. Mortgage insurance between $80 and $100, or $80 and $150, depending on the area you're staying in. Property taxes, $401. HOA dues is about $38 a month, but you can pay that into a year so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so that's the 5-1 ARM. Monthly payments is about $19.66. For the 30-year fix, 4.99%. The APR is about 5.503%. Zero down payment. Principal and interest, $1,968. Hazard and insurance is $60. Mortgage insurance between $80 and $100. I didn't add that in for this particular purpose. And property taxes, $401. HOA dues is same, $38. So the monthly payment for that is $2,197. All right, so just like you, I'm going to sit here and do the math. So 1,966, multiply that by 12, you just have enough equity of $23,592. So now you've paid yourself that. All right, so that's what we mean by equity. So with that same thing, in 5 years, you have paid yourself $117,960. Now, also know during these types when you're owning a home, you will be paying more interest instead of principal. All right. So in 5 years total, I have rented about $96,000 gone. I will have nothing to show for it in that time. Versus if I bought a home and where we are building at with Lennar, you will see equity and value into your home, especially out here in Warner Robins, Georgia. So now, out of 5 years, my new home that I bought is $117,960, which includes equity and appreciation. So now my home worth is $300,000 with equity. Hey, all right. So the power of buying. Buying a home isn't just a place to live. It's about building equity, which is just a fancy way of saying you're creating wealth for yourself every time you make a payment. Be mindful though, when you buy, part of your monthly payment goes toward paying down your loan balance and part goes to interest and taxes. In some cases, you're going to be paying more interest right off the back until you start paying more principal later on. Over time, that loan balance gets smaller and your ownership stake grows. Here's the kicker. Your home's value can go up over time, especially being at Lennar. We're building our homes into areas that are projected to growth. So just think if we're building about 50 to 100 homes, every time me as a homeowner, every time I see another house being built, another house sold, I'm adding that into my equity that is going to happen over time. So every time I see another house being built, I'm like, yes, my home is going to grow. And you will, especially buying new construction. All right, so what are some common fears about buying? I get it. Buying sounds great, but maybe you're thinking, I don't have a big down payment. My credit's not perfect. What if I can't afford the upkeep? Those are all very good questions. So here's in some cases, as a first-time home buyer, or there are some home buying programs for first-time home buyers, such as the Georgia Dream or the USDA, where you don't have to pay nothing down. And in cases where you're a VA, you don't have to pay zero down as well. You pay zero down as well. So we answered that first question. You don't have to have a big down payment, but if you have, or if you can afford a 3.5% down payment, that will make your mortgage that much more cheaper. As for maintenance, I just had an incident a few days ago where my AC unit went out. So obviously I'll take blame on that because I didn't change out my filters like I was supposed to. So I had to I initially called my homeowners or the warranty that I have. I called them, but they were unavailable. So I called another warranty and they were available and they came out and fixed it same day. Now, it did cost about $220. I took the hit on that. However, I did get my AC unit fixed, and we should have no problems for the next year. Now, my warranty called me back the following day, and they came out and everything could have went under warranty, and I may not have had to pay that much amount of money. However, I needed my AC unit fixed out here in Warner Robins, Georgia. I don't know what happened to the weather this specific time, but it was hot as hell. So I had to make sure I got my AC unit fixed. All right, so here's the biggest secret. You pay your landlord. They're building their net worth. If I had rental properties, I would love to have renters in there because they're helping me build my wealth as well. So yes, later on in life, I probably will get some other houses and hope I have good renters because I'm ultimately trying to get myself wealthy as well. They're using your rent to pay their mortgage. So I would be using you as renters to pay my rent and pay my mortgage and help me build equity and create financial security. So buying doesn't start with looking at houses. It starts with getting pre-approved. That's your green light, your budget check, and your negotiation power all in one. Once you know your buying power, you can look at homes that fit your lifestyle and your budget. So in the next video series, I'll be going through step by step, A to Z is what we call, from pre-approval all the way until your closing date. And I will share with you how that journey looks like. So in the end, you can buy your next home or you can buy in confidence. If you're ready to see what buying could look like for you with your numbers, your timeline, and your goals, let's connect. I'll walk you through the process so you can buy smarter, stress less, and make your next move with confidence. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button at the bottom, subscribe, share this with someone who's still paying rent. Thank you so much for your time. Also, click on a link below. I have a free 30-minute counseling. I am all for helping you become homeowners, even if you don't feel you're ready now. Let's sit down and talk. We'll come up with you a game plan. And when you feel the time is right, you'll be ready to buy your house with confidence. Thank you for your time.